Hello everybody and welcome to Nathan on Shuffle and to my latest episode of New Music Weekly, the show where I give you guys the top 5 prog news headlines for the week, introduce you guys to some new prog singles, and give you updates on the channel and what's happening here on Nathan on Shuffle. It's always a fun opportunity to be able to talk to you guys, do a show that's a little bit more casual and is basically just me talking about the things that are exciting me in the world of prog lately. So today is March 30th, 2024. And I have some interesting news. It's probably going to be a little bit of a shorter episode, but I think there's some interesting items that some of you may be very, very excited about. So first of all, I usually like to begin with the new releases of the week, which unfortunately this week I didn't really catch many new releases coming out. So this is a little bit blank for me at the moment, but I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments if you came across any new releases that were notable to you. In this spot, I'm going to promote my own upcoming video. I'm going to be doing a catch-up video for the first quarter of this year and feature some recommended albums that I haven't talked about yet on the channel, so I want to steer your attention towards that. So I'm kind of revamping a little bit of my new album features and how I talk about new music, because it's really a great focus of the channel that I want to promote and that I want to keep going in the best mode possible. So I'll talk more about that in my recommendations episode. But so that's really where I'm at with new releases. There's a lot of great new things that have come out in the last several weeks, so I'd really urge you to look at some of those past shows and see what else is out there. So item number 2, Dream Theater keyboardist Jordan Rudess launches a new single, Embers, with That Joe Payne and Darby Todd as guests on the track. It seems like later this year, Jordan Rudess is going to be releasing a new album on Inside Out Records, so this is the first taste of that new album. He's utilizing That Joe Payne as the vocalist on a lot of the tracks here. Darby Todd, of course, is a great drummer in the prog world. They played a solo set on Cruise to the Edge that I witnessed and played some new songs from this upcoming solo project. So really exciting. The track's really beautiful. It'll definitely be in my prog singles list, and I recommend you check that out. Of course, a lot going on in the Dream Theater world as well, with Dream Theater working on a new record, and they've been teasing a lot of stuff from the studio about how they've been working on a big closing epic for the new album, and Mike Portnoy seems really excited about the release from his posts on social media, as well as John Petrucci and all these other guys, so should be something to really look forward to. But in the meantime, I'm sure this solo record from Jordan Rudess should be good to whet the appetite for the upcoming feast of the new Dream Theater record. So excited about that. And item number 3, yes, their album Talk is having its 30th anniversary, and they're releasing a deluxe box set edition for this album. This came out in 1994. Some people consider it a bit underrated in their catalog, that people dismiss this album when it's actually one of their better works from this period of the band, one of the better Trevor Rabin works. I believe that John Anderson has stated that it's his favorite of the Rabin era of, yes, a beautiful time for me and Trevor. It was a very harmonious experience for me, is what John Anderson says about it. So to celebrate its 30th anniversary, Spirit of Unicorn Music is reissuing the album as a 4-CD deluxe edition featuring bonus studio material and previous release live show from New York, new interview with the principal players by renowned writer Jerry Ewing, a 2 LP limited edition white vinyl set, and a single CD. So this should be really cool because the original vinyl is harder to find and potentially expensive to find a rare copy of it, so it'll be nice to see this reissued with a little bit of a new glossy sheen on it. So if you're a fan of that album and that period of Yes's history, I think this is a cool collector's edition to pick up from their catalog. Item number 4, Marjana Semkina announces second solo album, Sirin. Marjana Semkina is the one part of the duo of I Am the Morning, and she's releasing her second album on May 31st. She's doing a big Kickstarter type campaign for the album to fund it. It seems like it's already been funded, it happened very quickly, which is really nice to see, but I'm sure there's still options to fund it as well still now. But It should be a cool solo record. I love her vocals. She's one of the greatest female vocalists in the prog scene at large, in my opinion. She's great in that duo of I Am the Morning, and her solo record has been really great as well. So she has a new video out for the song We Are the Ocean, the first single from the record, which will definitely be once again in the Prog singles list. You can check out in the description. So this should be a really cool album featuring some guests, including vocalist Jim Gray from Caligula's Horse, Antimatter frontman Mick Moss, as well as Kairos bassist Charlie Kaywood, Agent Fresco drummer Keely Gudjonsson, and I Am the Morning's live guitarist Liam McLaughlin. And it seems like the title of the record, Sirin, is based on a mythical creature from Slavic mythology, half bird, half woman, a harbinger of bad luck and death. It's believed that if you meet a Sirin, a big catastrophe will happen, except in cases with the events surrounding this album, it's already happened, according to Marjana Semkina. There's a lot of stuff that's been going on. Of course, she's a Russian artist, so there's a lot to say about what's happening with Russia at the moment. But should be a really interesting release, and an artist that I always follow closely, so I wanted to bring attention to that. Another artist that has been impressing me lately, Mandoki Soulmates, releases a new single and video for their upcoming album, A Memory of Our Future. This is a big conglomerate, international and intergenerational supergroup consisting of rock and fusion grandmasters surrounding founder and mastermind Leslie Mandoki. Everything I hear from this project is really stunning, really great. Has like a world music vibe, some jazz fusion type vibes, and of course just classic progressive rock as well in the makes. This album is going to be available to stream and buy on May 10th with a big Dolby Atmos immersive surround sound type mix. The single, of course, The Big Quit, is going to be on my singles list as well. So we're kind of already getting the singles list out of the way just with these prog headlines as well. So this should be something to really look for. Really fun. They had a earlier single called Blood in the Water, which has a pulsating beat, a catchy hook, ineffable prog rock spirit that appeals to heart and mind simultaneously. The single is an anthem for resilience in the face of a shark tank's worth of daunting challenges, encourages those who dare to resist conformity and courageously look ahead, and issues a call to be different and join a movement of resistance. That's what is said about their previous single, Blood in the Water, but the one on my list this week is actually The Big Quit. So really, really cool stuff. Some promising new releases ahead. Some interesting artists there producing some really cool material. So just to reiterate, my prog singles list, which you can check in the description, I have links to all the YouTube videos for these singles, is Jordan Rudess's Embers, Marjana Semkina's We Are the Ocean, Mandoki Soulmates' The Big Quit, all three that I've mentioned in the headlines. And then, of course, Pat Metheny has a great instrumental called Moon Dial that I added to the prog singles list. Of course, Pat Metheny is a legendary fusion guitarist, so it's a very jazzy instrumental guitar piece that I really enjoyed, so I thought that would be worthy of the list here. And then another band that's somewhat on my radar, but I'm not quite sure is totally my thing, but I wanted to promote them anyways. I'm not sure how to pronounce the band. They're a Chinese progressive metal band called OU is how they spell their name, OU. And their single that they've just put out is called Purge, featuring Devin Townsend, in fact, who also co-produced and mixed the album. It's very heavy, very unique, interesting metal. Maybe a bit heavier than what I tend to enjoy, a bit more avant-garde in that sense. But if you're looking for something very unique and very different than your typical progressive metal, and if you like the Devin Townsend kind of wall of sound style, this may be for you. So this is an upcoming release, their second album. It's going to be called Frailty, and it's coming out in short order here. I'm trying to find the release date, but I don't have it noted. But yeah, it's coming out soon and should be an interesting release by this group. Let me check out. Sorry, had to look that up. The release date is actually April 26th for that album, for this Chinese progressive metal band. And it should be a really interesting and eclectic release if you're interested in that more heavier avant-garde style metal. There's definitely stuff to enjoy here if you're fans of that style. As for the channel, now this is where I give kind of updates on the channel itself. This past week was more of me trying to get back into the swing of things after me and my wife's vacation on Cruise to the Edge, and then my wife getting a bit sick after the cruise and having to recover from it, getting back into work and all those types of things. So I put out a cool smattering of videos this week. I did a review of the new Professor Caffeine and the Insecurities record, self-titled record. One of my favorite albums that I've heard this year. It's a mix of like Coheed and Cambria and Thank You Scientist. Really modern sounding, has the kind of emo indie kind of style, but also a lot of cool progressive rock undertones and some really cool playing and a lot of diversity of styles. So I recommend that to you if you like some of those more modern indie prog kind of bands, like Thank You Scientist, like Coheed, like Deer Hunter, all of that stuff. I think they're in line with that sort of a flavor. I also did a release of the concert footage from Cruise to the Edge that me and Jana filmed while we were aboard the ship. So just 2 hours of seeing live performances from the various bands that were on Cruise to the Edge. It's a really cool video, I think, that shows a great swath of talent that we saw on board, the vast majority of which was filmed by Jana, by the way. She was kind of my photographer and videographer, so to speak, during the cruise. So I'm really grateful for her to shooting all that film and us being able to put it out on the channel. So hopefully you can catch some of that. I know it's fairly lengthy, but if you want to hop around and see the different bands, that's definitely something you can do with that video. We're going to be putting out tomorrow a cruise review video. We've already filmed it. We're just kind of working on editing it together and putting in maybe some photos from our experience and whatnot. So it's going to be a fairly lengthy video, but it's a really great detailed look at what happened on Cruise to the Edge, at least from our perspective. That should be coming out tomorrow on Easter Sunday, so, coincidentally enough. And then, like I mentioned, I'm going to be doing a big roundup of what happened in the first quarter of the year in prog music. I'm going to be talking about my favorite albums, talking about some recommended albums that I haven't covered on the channel yet, and introducing kind of a new style for how I want to approach talking about new albums moving forward on the channel. So should be a really important video, should be one that if you're interested in new prog music, you should definitely check out. So that's what's happening on the channel. I was hoping to resume Prog Song Sunday tomorrow, but it just didn't make sense with all the things we're trying to film and get back on track with everything. So we've filmed a new Prog Song Sunday, but we're not going to air it till the week after next. We're going to focus on our cruise review first, and then do our next big Prog Song Sunday the weekend after. So, but it's coming, and it'll be a great return. I'm sure you guys will really like what we have cooked up, and we'll just keep on going from there. So, a lot of cool stuff ahead. I hope you guys will keep tuned in, and let me know in the comments how you feel about the channel and about our new music coming out and any of the new prog headlines and anything I may have missed that you guys noticed out in the world of prog that I could bring into the show maybe next week. So thank you guys for all of your continued support, and I hope to catch you in a future episode. Bye everybody.